Dear student, I am Dr. Harold Thomas, Professor in Applied Geology, Dr. Hari Singh Gaur Vishwavidyalaya Sagar. Today, I will deliver my lecture on case study of PT path. Hope it will be useful for you. Try to be regular in course. Once polymetamorphic rocks of polymineralic assemblages has been established, it is necessary to ascertain the physical condition of metamorphism during the recrystallization of M1 and M2 mineral assemblages. See figure on the screen. Although the problem is based with equilibrium and re-equilibrium phenomena of mineral assemblages, an attempt has been made here to establish pressure and temperature values on suitable assemblages from the investigated rocks. The Al-rich peltic niches containing garnet, kyanite, sillimanite, biotite, quartz, potash feldspar, plagioclase, plus minus sterolized and plus minus cordierite assemblages with or without andalusite yields a consensus blocking temperature of 650 to 850 degree centigrade from the garnet biotite pair. See figure on the screen. Geothermometer within uncertainties of the different models likes and other exchange geothermometers, the garnet biotite thermometry is not controlled or affected by the phygosity of volatile components, which may only control the stability of a phase. Ferry and Spear 1978, the temperature concentration near 700 degree centigrade in different assemblages as determined by different garnet biotite models. See figure on the screen. While the temperature obtained by the garnet cordierite range from 550 to 700 degree centigrade, see figure on the screen. Pressure calibration at 700 degree centigrade yield values ranging from about 5.5 to 7.5 kilobar according to garnet, sillimanite, plagioclase, quartz barometer. From this, it seems that the Supura rocks, after reaching the maximum pressure condition at about 7.5 kilobar, experience a uplift which sees in the vicinity of 5.5 kilobar. This peltic history will be, however, amplified later, but these pressure and temperature data should also be visualized in terms of relevant experimental curves and pressure temperature calibration from the gauntlet. See figure on the screen. Similarly, the pressure calibrated at 700 degree centigrade for garnet, sillimanite, cordierite, quartz barometer yield values ranging from 6 to 8 kilobar, which is also very similar to values obtained by garnet sillimanite plagioclase quartz barometer. Temperature calculated through orthopyroxene clinopyroxene thermometers on the basis of Wood and Bano 1973 equation for different pairs yielded nearly 1380 degrees centigrade. See figure on the screen. This high temperature values suggested crystallization temperature of the norite from the melts. Thomas and Sujata 2008. In the basic gamulites, the orthopyroxene, clinopyroxene, garnet and garnet orthopyroxene geothermometers yield temperatures in the range of about 700 to 950 degrees centigrade. See figure on the screen. This maybe indicates that in these gamulites, the elemental ratio in the mineral did not completely re-equilibrated to the condition to which they were subjected and to which the ale rich peltic gneiss re-equilibrated, but the re-equilibration is not associated with retrogression, as these are no altered phase, since these temperatures are derived from phases occurring in the corona, that is garnet and clinopyroxene. It may be concluded that the corona forming reaction orthopyroxene plus plagioclase gave rise to garnet plus minus clinopyroxene plus quartz. See figure on the screen. So widely recorded in the gamulite occurred metamorphism. The orthopyroxene clinopyroxene thermometer seems to be bracket actually peak metamorphic temperature garnet orthopyroxene pair, the temperature of 750 to 800 degrees centigrade, average denoting lower temperature equilibration calculated from different models not only match reasonably with one another for garnet orthopyroxene, but also agreed with the garnet biotite exchange thermometer. Temperature higher than about 800 degrees centigrade are not obtained in the ale rich peltic gneisses, but the peltic assemblages also have been subjected to the temperature as higher as 700 degrees centigrade. This is documented by the presence of hypersthene within biotite in the hypersthene biotite garnet quartz potash feldspar charnockite or andesite assemblages. This suggests a prograde reaction. Biotite plus quartz give rise to hypersthene plus potash feldspar plus water. In alumina poor peltic composition, the biotite out curve according to the Brown and Fye 1970 is that 800 degree centigrade 10 kilobar. Green 1976 also noted biotite persisting to 980 degree centigrade at 2% water and 10 kilobar from an average peltic bulk composition. The temperature values in the basic gamulites reflects the range from that of the initial formation down to that final equilibration. Unlike the assemblages of ale rich peltic gneiss, which record only the final cooling temperature due to complete re-equilibration, the water contained in ale rich peltic gneisses, in contrast to the nearly dry gamulites, might account for a somewhat lower quenching temperature. The pressure calibration in the gamulite assemblages yield values ranging from 6.3 kilobar to 8.3 kilobar. See figure on the screen. pressure lower than 6 kilobar at 600 degrees centigrade are not consistent with the high pressure Gowlites yield of Green and Ringwood 1967, in which orthopyroxene plagioclase are incompatible. Hence, the lower p values of 5.6 kilobar probably reflects some other event, marginal re-equilibration, different from the Gowlite facies metamorphism. The reaction orthopyroxene plus anorthite gave rise to garnet plus CPX plus quartz, so nicely documented in the garnet clinopyroxene quartz. See figure on the screen. Corona around orthopyroxene against plagioclase within basic Gowlites is now recognized to have been taken place at the boundary between the high pressure and intermediate pressure Gowlites field. See figure on the screen. The Shivpura assemblages therefore appear to have been formed under pressure and temperature condition of the higher pressure Gowlites. The preservation of garnet clinopyroxene quartz corona around orthopyroxene suggests that the original texture quenched at deeper level, but was later emplaced into shallower levels due to some tectonic activities. Restriction of this reaction of orthopyroxene plagioclase, see figure on the screen, contracts and fairly consistent width of cells, so that the corona formed in a water deficient environments. Otherwise, orthopyroxene would not be stable. The reaction orthopyroxene plus anorthite give rise to garnet plus minus clinopyroxene plus quartz is independent of activity of water and is displaced towards the right with increasing pressure and temperature. Dependence is ambiguous because of the gentle slope of the reaction curve. Hessen 1981. The result of the calculation of pressure and particular temperature are plotted in the figure, see figure on the screen, from which a pressure and temperature history can be attempted. The plotting of pressure data at respective temperatures for both ale-rich peltic and charnockite or andesites Gowlites suggest that the final equilibration of Shivpura rocks occurred within the kyanite field. The reaction sequence, however, started at high temperature nearly 850 degree centigrade and 8 to 10 kilobar, is consistent with the experimental data on transformation of basaltic composition from medium to high pressure Gowlites. The critical metamorphic assemblages recognized in corona texture in the Gowlites charnockite andesite was formed during the first stage of Gowlite metamorphism. As the corona formation continued to spread over a range due to invariant condition of the reaction, orthopyroxene plus plagioclase give rise to garnet plus minus clinopyroxene plus quartz. Complete re-equilibration was inhibited due to the reaction kinetics factor and the rims of garnet, which acted a barrier for cation exchange. The temperature effect on the reaction orthopyroxene plus plagioclase give rise to garnet plus minus CPX plus quartz do not seems to be significant in view of the gentle slope of the reaction. Hessen 1981. The very nature of the corona texture indicates that no second heating event affected these mineral assemblages. This high temperature assemblages has been preserved over the long period, possibly by the decreasing reaction rates at low temperature and by lack of penetrative deformation and water. Turner 1968. However, re-equilibration to some degree is evident from low pressure values obtained in gavonites, charnockite or enderbite assemblages. The presence of hornblende replacing clinopyroxene or coexisting with it in the corona indicates that water ultimately originated entirely from the country rocks and not from the volatile derived from a magma source. It may also be assumed that some hornblende of M1 metamorphism has survived during M2 gavonite facies condition due to the complex chemistry. However, the scanty occurrences of hornblende in the corona indicates that internal activity of water has been responsible for the hornblende appearance, as no widespread retrogression occurred throughout the entire metamorphic history of the rock except along fracture. The ale-rich peltic assemblages also provide a similar pressure and temperature history, showing that the difference in pressure and temperature reflect at time sequence a polychronic metamorphism geotherm. The large prism of kyanite, euhedral, sillimanite and kyanite needles in ale-rich peltic gneisses and andalusite are clear manifestation of polymetamorphic nature of the peltic rocks, in the sense of having undergone two separate orogenic events, Sarma and Narayan 1975, Sarma 1977, 1995 and 2003, Joshi et al. 1993, Thomas 1991, 1995, 1996 and 2005. The assemblies of kyanite, garnet, biotite, muscovite quartz of earlier metamorphic cycle M1 equal to pre-Aravalli orogenic cycle more than 2580 million years, Crawford 1970, Sivaraman and Odom 1982, along with the associated orthopyroxene plagioclase assemblies of the gabbroic rock reacted progressively during the second metamorphism M2 equal to Delhi orogenic cycle nearly 1600 to 950 million years, Crawford 1970, see figure on the screen. During the initial stages of progressive M2 metamorphism, two reactions took place in the ale-rich peltic gneisses. Muscovite plus quartz gave rise to sillimanite plus potash feldspar plus water, and biotite plus kyanite plus quartz give rise to garnet plus potash feldspar plus water. Because these reactions occurred in the stability field of sillimanite, the second reaction would obviously involve kyanite and not sillimanite with biotite and quartz in ale-rich peltic gneiss. That sillimanite overprinted kyanite is convincingly documented in the texture of the rock. The common peltic composition, the reaction biotite plus quartz give rise to hypersthene plus potash feldspar plus garnet plus water, has taken place at high temperature condition nearly 830 degrees centigrade. The occurrences of coarsely crystalline prismatic sillimanite together with kyanite needles and kyanite broad prism in the Svipura peltic indicates that the pressure and temperature path penetrated the kyanite sillimanite phase boundary. At this condition, it would seems reasonable to suggest that the pylites had also a record of divariant reaction. Cordite gave rise to garnet plus aluminosilicate plus quartz. Because of its divariant nature, the above reaction continued until the cutoff temperature was reached. Holdway and Lee 1977. The presence of abundant kyanite needles after sillimanite formation and higher pressure data from garnet, sillimanite, quartz, plagioclase at 700 degrees centigrade average compared to 8.3 kilobar pressure at 700 degrees centigrade in gaullites, charnockite or enderbyte and metanorite support the slowly falling temperature and slightly elevated pressure as the rock entered the kyanite field. The garnet trend towards lower temperature. The general trend towards the low temperature would impose considerable kinetic limitation. The general abundance of kyanite needles may be a manifestation of the restriction imposed by the general cooling of the rock through the kyanite pressure and temperature stability field. Thus, sillimanite may be juxtaposed with mineral assemblages equilibrated at high pressure. During this cooling condition, the alteration of hypersthene to biotite against potash feldspar in common peltic composition may have been caused during cooling by the partial reversal of the equilibrium reaction. Hypersthene plus potash feldspar plus water give rise to biotite plus quartz. Thus, it becomes clear that the Svipura complex, having reached its maximum temperature at about 7 kilobar and 850 degrees centigrade, experience a cooling path with slightly increased pressure at 10 kilobar and temperature nearly 750 degrees centigrade. From this stage, the rocks were tectonically uplifted to a depth equivalent to 6 or 7 kilobar. From the point the Svipura gaullites suit shared their further metamorphic history with surrounding units of the banded gneissic complex. The pressure estimate of 9 kilobar, during which the Svipura gaulite suit was buried down to the deepest level in the crust, corresponding to a depth of about 30 to 40 kilometer. If the average density of 2.85 gram per centimeter cube is assigned for the overlying rocks column, thus the gaulites are clearly of deep crustal origin. Rapid uplift along major fault or shear regionally exposed the deeper level of the crust, and thus Svipura and surrounding rocks were excavated. The position of the pressure and temperature data for peltic assemblages with reference to the experimentally and thermodynamically calculated curve match satisfactorily. The square with arrow at 700 degree centigrade, see figure on the screen, have been pushed at lower temperature to the consistent with the kyanite stability field. The presence of Andalusite, Thomas 1991, 1995, 1996 and 2005 and Thomas and Sujata 2008 in the AL-rich peltic gneiss along with the sillimanite is only due to the thermal effect of the intrusion of granodiorite, charnockite or metanorite, temperature nearly 1380 degrees centigrade. The absence of horn-felsic texture in the gaolites and their mesoscopic similarity with rock from the neighboring Thana Gyangar area, Thomas 1991, 1995, 1996 and 2005 indicates that the rock did not cool enough prior to the norite intrusion. The partial recrystallization leading to the development of garnet at OPX and plagioclase contact and the preservation of igneous optic texture conclusively suggest that the metanorite intruded during waning stage of gaolite facies metamorphism in the Shivpura area. The event of gaolite metamorphism in the Shivpura area is an important problem in the Rajasthan Precambrian province. Evidence from the two orogenic cycle was documented by Sharma and Narayan 1995, Sharma 1970, Joshi et al. 1993, Thomas 1991, 1995, 98 and 2005, who have designated them by the pre-Aravalli or late Archean cycles and Delhi orogenic cycle of late Proterozoic age, see figure on the screen respectively. The metamorphic events corresponding to these two orogenesis are well recorded in the rock of the Shivpura and surrounding area during the M1 metamorphism. The important assemblies kyanite, garnet, mica plus minus stolite in peltic composition and hypersthene and plagioclase assemblies present in the basic composition. Late Archeans were subsequently involved in high pressure and high temperature metamorphism M2 of the Proterozoic age, during which peltic composition witnessed partial melting and development of sillimanite in aluminous bands, whilst basic low pressure gaolites developed garnet, clinopyroxene, quartz, corona, see figure on the screen. The intrusion of granodiorite charnockite underbite within the Gyangar was apparently a shallow level emplacement at the end stage of the gaolite facies metamorphism, perhaps immediately following the metanorite intrusion in this an adjoining area of Sandmata, Thana Gyangar, Shivpura, Sharma 1988, Joshi et al. 1993, Thomas 1991, 95, 2005 and Thomas and Sujata 2008. This co-magmatic series is assumed by Sarkar et al. 1989 as igneous intrusion after the intrusion of metanorite dike, which are proved to have been in place during some stage of gamma-light phases metamorphism. With this observation and mineralogical evidences started above the age of 1723 million years of the co-magmatic series should record the event when this series got separated from the source region. Their emplacement date seems to be younger than 1723 million years because these intrusions have generated thermal metamorphism in the host rocks, which were by then undergoes gamma-light phases metamorphism. Out of the 5 types of gamma-light characterized on the basis of pressure estimates by Newton and Perkins 1982, the Shivapura gamma-light suite come under group 4, tectonically uplifted deep crustal gamma-lights of these authors. Therefore, these high pressure gamma-lights of deep crustal nearly 30 km will be mostly suitable for throwing light on the composition of the lower crustal, which on the basis of geochemical evidence is considered to consist of both igneous and metamorphic components ranging in composition from gabbro to tonalite, Brown 1977. At Shivapura, the basic gamma-lights, amphibolites and also charnockite, anderbite and kyanite garnet bearing ale-rich peltic gneiss plus minus andesite have obviously magmatic and sedimentary source rock respectively. The main question now arises whether the Shivapura gamma-lights, charnockite, anderbite are mantle differentiated which recrystallize in a plutonic environment during plating pre-existing crust, or whether these gamma-lights represent fragments of Archean orogenic crust which have been emplaced into the deeper level of the continental crust. The second possibility is generated from the present association of the mafic gamma-lights, metanorite, amphibolite, metavolcanics and metasedimentary gneisses, all representing ocean floor assemblages probably emplaced into the lower crust, as in Greenland, Weaver et al. 1982. The chemical composition of these magmatogenic rocks may reflect the chemical characteristic of the source material from which the parent magma originated. If the later metamorphism was essentially isochemical, the magmatogenic processes and the composition of the magma so produced can be interpreted by means of experimental data obtained in the model system Meissen and Bucher 1975 and Allen et al. 1975. From comparison of the rock composition actually present with that of liquids produced in the experiments, the depth of magma generation may be derived. On the basis of their arguments on heat flow and erosion rates, England and Richardson 1977 identified two quite different heat sources for regional metamorphism. One dominated by regional metamorphism, one dominated by tectonic thickening, for example, Daleardian of Scotland or Pennine Alps of Switzerland, model 1, and another dominated by the addition of magma at the base of the crust, model 2. These two end member situation can in theory the distinguished by quite different pressure and temperature path. In the magma addition model, model 2, the PT path of progressive metamorphism would be convex to the temperature axis and cooling will be along a higher pressure path than witnessed during prograde metamorphism of tectonically thickened crust model 1, where temperature increased by conductive relaxation whilst consequently pressure decreases by erosion of the pile. In the latter case, the geotherm will be concave towards the temperature axis. See figure on the screen. The reduced pressure and temperature path of the Siupura Gangolite suit considerably constrained on the whole tectonic evolution of the terrain. The present prograde metamorphic geotherm, see figure on the screen, and the near isobaric cooling are not compatible with model 1. The pressure and temperature path do not also resemble the cooling path which are characteristic of terrains where the metamorphism is related to igneous intrusion. Cobalt and Philpa, 1981. The pressure and temperature path for the Siupura and surrounding complex shown in figure, see figure on the screen, are rather compatible with the England and Richardson 1977 model 2 for crustal thickening by magma addition. This suggests prograde heating of the Siupura complex by the addition of deep crustal magmatic bodies. In contrast to rocks from many Gangolite terrains where pressure reduction occur near the maximum temperature of metamorphism, the Siupura and surrounding Gangolites are believed to have undergone nearly isobaric cooling before uplift to the surface. Ellis, 1980. England and Richardson, 1977, while contrasting pressure and temperature path due to erosion after thrusting with those heated by addition of magma, see figure on the screen, noted that if erosion was very slow, then conductive relaxation would allow cooling essentially along the isobar. The possibility of low pressure together with either higher or lower temperature reaction would be minimized. They propose that condition extreme on both temperature and pressure are to be expected from this sort of metamorphic terrain. The Siupura and surrounding Gangolites may well provide such an example of crustal metamorphism under extreme condition of temperature and pressure and the presence of compression during cooling. Then the corona develop in the rock. Since uplift at high temperatures would indicate prograde evidence for the early pressure and temperature history, it is convinced that after slow cooling, the rocks were tectonically brought near the shallow depth, see figure on the screen, and later erosion exposed them. The constraint of the reaction sequence and pressure and temperature estimates favor the second model of England and Richardson 1977. Maximum temperatures during metamorphism only coincide with max crustal thickening if the crust is thickened by later injection of hot magma at the base of the crust. England and Richardson 1977 and Wells 1980. Consequently, there would be significant increase of density in the part of the terrain as an isostatic response to the density contrast with the neighboring rocks, predominantly schist and amphibolite gneisses, and Seupura and surrounding complex rose like a plug. The granolites, charnockite, andesite, and schist and gneiss andalusite bearing of the banded gneissic complex in the terrain would be an expression of shallower depth. See figure on the screen. Recent gravity and magmatic data as well as the deep seismic reflection profiling DSS studies are in full support of the model. The regional gravity high over the Delhi supergroup and the BGC indicates high density rocks at depth. Rode and Ramakrishna 1988, Mishra et al. 1995, this is clearly an expression of abundant mafic rocks that occur amidst the Delhi metasediments and also an underplated material below the crust in the region. Deep seismic reflection studies reveal that a large scale domal structure situated in the lower crust, that is in the BGC terrain between Govindgarh and Bhinai close to the Seupura area, it crest deepening to the 27 to 30 kilometer on the northwest and south near Govindgarh and Bhinai respectively, Tiwari et al. 1995. This gravity high is interpreted as a clear manifestation of high density material below the crust caused by large scale underplating. Invest in the model the presence of high reflection zones above the moho, although unclear in this region, can be interpreted as the seismic expression of a laminated lower crust caused by interleaving of metamorphic and underplated magmatic rock. Below this laminated crust, a northwest deepening strong reflector is reported to rise from near the moho, expanding with northeast southwest orientation. Tiwari et al. 1995. This trend confirms the surface orientation is the shear zone in the Sandmata. Thana Gyangarh, Seupura region, Sarma 1988, 1995, 2003, Joshi et al. 1993, Thomas 1991, 95, 96, Thomas and Sujata 2008. In any case, the Seupura and surrounding granolites, see figure on the screen, have been excavated from deeper crustal level of the crust. Dear student, today in this lecture I have discussed about the case study of PT path. This topic I have covered under the following heads: introduction, time, temperature, nature and origin of the source rock, implication. For further studies, please read the textbooks, references and the link given in the text. Thank you very much.